Magic Kingdom might be the most magical place on Earth, but it can also be the most overwhelming. Don't worry though, I've got you covered with some tips that even the pros might miss. I am so excited to be the one to get to show you around Magic Kingdom today. This park can be a little tough to navigate, but after this video, you're gonna have a Magic Kingdom day that'll feel like you designed the park yourself. That's how well you're gonna know your way around. There's no other theme park like Magic Kingdom in Disney World. Hosting around 20 million visitors each year, it's been the #1 theme park in the world for over 17 years. The park is a bucket list destination with its world-famous attractions, shows, theming, and food. Divided into 5 lands, Magic Kingdom is a dreamer's paradise where you can sail the rivers of the world, dance with royalty, travel through time, and blast off to new galaxies. It's the kind of place that brings something new every visit, and there's more to ride, see, and taste than you could ever do in a day. So whether you're planning your first or 50th trip to Magic Kingdom, travel along with me for a complete tour of this unforgettable park. Kicking off your day, you might want to head to one of Magic Kingdom's star attractions. These are the most popular rides in the park. They tend to get really long lines, so it can be great to rope drop these. That's arriving about 30 minutes prior to park opening, so you can head there first thing as soon as that rope drops. These rides get super long lines, and in the middle of the day, you'll see them hit waits of an hour or 2 hours plus, like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train right now at 125 minutes. But stick with me, and I'll show you how to skip the stress, skip the waiting, and get to the fun fast. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is the most popular attraction in Magic Kingdom. This swaying mine train-themed family coaster takes you into the world of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, around the mountain, through the mines, and even past the dwarf's cottage. Just around the corner in Fantasyland is Peter Pan's Flight. Climb aboard a pixie-dusted pirate ship to fly over London and off to Neverland, encountering characters from the classic Disney film along the way. Tron Light Cycle Run is one of the newest rides in Magic Kingdom. This thrilling launch coaster sees you riding your very own light cycle at speeds of almost 60 miles per hour as you race through the grid. Tomorrowland is also home to Space Mountain, a historic roller coaster where you'll hurtle through the dark past shooting stars and satellites. And our final star, Jungle Cruise, is a comedic boat tour through the rivers of the world where the skippers will keep you laughing with classic and surprising jokes. Whether you choose to ride these rides at slower times like first thing in the morning or last thing at night, pay to skip them with Disney's Lightning Lane services, or just don't mind waiting an hour, you're probably going to want them on your must-do list. But there is one star attraction that is a bit trickier than the others. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is a fun log flume-style ride where you join Tiana to look for a critter band for her Mardi Gras party. This ride is different from any other in Magic Kingdom, and if you don't do this one thing, you might miss out on it. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is the only ride in Magic Kingdom that does not have a standby line. To ride, you either need to pay to access the Lightning Lane or join a virtual queue. Virtual queues open up at 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. in the My Disney Experience app. Tap in quickly right when the queues open and you'll get a boarding group to be called at some point during the day. Once it is, you'll be going down the bayou. So now you know about those higher priority star attractions. Maybe you got here early and rode some of them already. I say that means it's time for breakfast. Want to eat breakfast inside Cinderella Castle? Or maybe you're just looking for the perfect sweet snacks. Stay tuned, I've got you covered. In Magic Kingdom, you can either eat at a quick service restaurant with a walk-up counter or a table service restaurant, a fully seated meal. Table services are often very popular, and we recommend getting a dining reservation up to 60 days in advance on the My Disney Experience app. Table service breakfast can be found at Cinderella's Royal Table in the castle with princesses and at the Crystal Palace with Winnie the Pooh and friends sitting in view of the castle. These are Magic Kingdom's 2 character meals, and breakfast is cheaper than lunch and dinner, so this is a great way to eat with the characters while still balling on a budget. If you don't want to commit to a long sit-down meal, a few quick service options offer full breakfast too. The Friar's Nook has a sausage and bagel sandwich in the morning alongside its usual tots, hot dogs, and more. The lunching pad has a breakfast bowl and sticky bubble bread before it swaps to its menu of pretzels and specialty hot dogs. And Westward Ho has breakfast biscuit sandwiches and donut holes in the morning instead of the candied bacon skewer and jalapeno poppers that will show up later. And you can find some sweet snacks that are served all day, whether you want them for breakfast or any other time. Like right here at Sleepy Hollow. Pick up a Mickey waffle covered with fruit and whipped cream, or go savory with a Mickey waffle with hot honey chicken. They also have funnel cake and hand-dipped corn dogs. In Fantasyland, you could grab a chocolatey Cheshire Cat tail pastry from Cheshire Cafe, or a warm cinnamon roll, gray-stuffed cupcake, and my favorite, creme brulee croissant from Gaston's Tavern, where you could also find the specialty Le Fou's brew. And if you don't mind going with something a little simple, Main Street Bakery is a Starbucks location offering the full Starbucks menu and a ton of pastries. And you can grab coffee at the Joffrey's location in Tomorrowland, too. Okay, we're fueled up, back to the rides. Think you know all the rides in Magic Kingdom? Some of these might surprise you. Plus, I'll let you know which ones you can probably skip. We've covered the most popular, but Magic Kingdom has a lot of rides, 24 to be exact. So we're gonna go through all of them to make sure you know which ones are priorities for you and which ones you can skip. I'm trapped on the carousel. They won't let it move, but the ride's not over. They just said, don't get off the horse. So I'm trapped here on the carousel because we thought this shot would be fun. Angie's laughing at me. Keep an eye out in the corner for our recommended stars so you know which one we recommend to be a must-do for you. Let's take this land by land, shall we? Main Street USA is a land based on Walt Disney's hometown of Marceline, Missouri. It's supposed to evoke the feelings of small-town America. Here, you'll find Main Street vehicles. These are old-timey and historic vehicles that will run you on trips up and down Main Street from the train station to Cinderella Castle. But fair warning, they do stop running at 4 p.m. And you can hop on the Walt Disney World Railroad for a 20-minute loop of Magic Kingdom with stops in Frontierland and Fantasyland. Adventureland takes you to worlds of adventure and daring. Mystical places filled with interesting characters like genies and pirates. The Magic Carpets of Aladdin is a Dumbo-style ride for the whole family where you can make like Aladdin and Jasmine and soar on a magic carpet. And Pirates of the Caribbean is an exciting boat ride back to the golden age of piracy. A masterclass in storytelling and one of the most iconic Disney rides. This one is certainly a must. Say hi to Jack Sparrow for me. Frontierland transports you to the Wild West with rocky peaks and old-timey trading posts. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is a runaway mine-train roller coaster, and yes, it is the wildest ride in the wilderness. If the Wild West isn't right for you, head on to Liberty Square to experience colonial America. Here you can board a doom buggy for a tour of the Haunted Mansion. It's spooky, but not too spooky, and you'll run into 999 happy haunts. Or take a tour on the Liberty Square riverboat for unique views of the park and an escape from the crowds. Worlds of magic and splendor await in Fantasyland, and also it has more rides than any other land. Dumbo the Flying Elephant is perhaps the most famous Disney World ride where you soar on the back of Dumbo. It's a Small World was originally developed for the 1965 World's Fair and is still delighting guests with its boat tour around the world. And yet another iconic attraction can be found here in the form of Mad Tea Party, where you spin in a teacup to tunes from Alice in Wonderland. The Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh puts you riding in a honey pot through a dark ride that tells the story of a very blustery day in the 100-acre woods. Watch out for heffalumps and woozles! The oldest attraction in Magic Kingdom is Prince Charming's Regal Carousel. Yes, really. This carousel was originally built in 1917 and was moved to Magic Kingdom when it opened. The newest dark ride in Fantasyland is Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid that takes you through the story of the Little Mermaid. And as an intro to coasters, send your kiddos over to Barnstormer. The whole family will love this introduction coaster to what those bigger thrill rides might be like. Now we'll head to the future with a trip to Tomorrowland, showing us what the future could hold and taking us to distant galaxies. Join Toy Story's Buzz Lightyear on Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin to battle Zurg in a competitive shooter game to see who in your family can rack up the most points. On Tomorrowland Speedway, you'll get your very own, very loud and very slow car to drive around a track. Kiddos who can't drive yet love this. Grown-ups, maybe not so much. Perhaps the most popular chill ride in Magic Kingdom is Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. Hop on for a ride that will take you on a tour of Tomorrowland and even inside the ride buildings for Space Mountain and Buzz Lightyear. Take an elevator to the roof of Tomorrowland for a spin on Astro Orbiter. This one has a bit more thrill than the other rotating attractions due to its height and speed. But it's not all rides. You can also come face to face with characters from beloved Disney stories. In addition to the character restaurants we talked about, there are also character meet and greets all around Magic Kingdom. You can find these in the My Disney Experience app. The most popular include meeting Mickey at Town Square Theater, the princesses at Princess Fairy Tale Hall, Mickey's friends over at Pete's Silly Sideshow, Ariel at her grotto, and Mirabelle at Fairy Tale Garden. And you can also keep an eye out for Aladdin and Jasmine, Peter Pan, Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, and more. And if you really want a magical character experience, don't miss Enchanted Tales with Belle. This short show is a wonderful performance where your kiddos and you will work together along with Belle to tell her story. You actually get to visit Beast Castle during the show and travel through Enchanted Mirror to do so, so it is very magical. Whew, I think it might be time for a nice snack or treat, don't you? If you're looking for something simple like a pickle, turkey leg, pretzel, or slush, head to a spot like Prince Eric's Village Market, Cool Ship, or Liberty Square Market. But this is Magic Kingdom, so chances are you're looking for something a little bit more exciting. And there are a lot of options. This park is home to some iconic snacks, and I'm gonna show you where you can find some hidden gems too. Magic Kingdom is home to the famous and iconic Dole Whip, a dairy-free frozen treat that you can find in different flavors at Aloha Isle and Sunshine Tree Terrace in Adventureland. For soft-serve sundaes, themed cones, and more, look no further than Storybook Treats in Fantasyland or Anti-Gravity's Galactic Goodies in Tomorrowland. And if you want to go with classic, hand-scooped ice cream, there is nothing more magical than having a scoop from Plaza Ice Cream Parlor and watching the crowds go by on Main Street, USA. Now, with treats in hand, I think it's time we see a show. Magic Kingdom is home to some of the best shows in Disney World, and I'm going to show you why you absolutely cannot miss them. Right here at the castle, you can see tons of Disney characters many times throughout the day during Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair. There are currently 2 parades you can see during the day: the brief Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade featuring Miguel, the Genie, and more, and the huge Festival of Fantasy Parade. This is a spectacular parade and one you can't miss. Pro tip, watch from Frontierland. The crowds will be lower and the parade starts there, so you will see it first. And tonight for other live entertainment around Main Street, USA, like the Dapper Dans or the Casey's Corner Pianist. But there's also shows that double as attractions. In Adventureland, Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room brings the flowers and animatronic birds to life with catchy songs. Bonus, the original version of the show featured the first ever animatronics, and you can eat a Dole Whip in there. Frontierland has the newly revamped Country Bear musical Jamboree, where bears will sing country versions of Disney songs. For my history buffs, the Hall of Presidents is a stunning show where every U.S. president is featured in animatronic form. If you ask me, this is the coolest way we document the presidency. My favorite way to escape the heat and the crowds midday in Magic Kingdom is with Mickey's PhilharMagic, a 3D show where Donald gets a hold of Mickey's sorcerer hat and takes you with him on a journey through other Disney worlds. Tomorrowland has 2 shows. The first is Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress, a show that was developed for the 1965 World's Fair, where an animatronic family takes you through a century of technological advancement. And there's Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. This is one the whole family will love. Monsters act as comedians to gather your laughs to power Monstropolis. The show features live performers and is different every time you see it. Now, we've been having a lot of fun today, but what about when something goes wrong or you need help? A lot can go really wrong in the parks. Trust me, things have happened to me. But we'll tell you exactly what to do when things don't go to plan. Let's take a look at our map for the spots you need to know in case of emergency. Guest services can be found in City Hall at the front of the park if you have any questions or problems during your day. And you can find help by looking for blue guest experience umbrellas around the park. If you're feeling under the weather, get a sunburn or blister, or are getting sick, head to First Aid. And if you're navigating the park with a little one, the Baby Care Center has supplies for purchase, plus rooms for nursing and changing. It's not just rides and shows. Magic Kingdom also has ways for all ages to play together. Smell-Elephants on Parade is an activity where you get a little booklet and you get to match these elephants by smell to their corresponding treat. Casey Jr.'s Splash and Soak Station can help your kids stay cool and get some energy out. Because let's face it, as cool as the rides are, sometimes your kid is gonna come away from the day thinking that their favorite thing was getting blasted in the face by a stream of water coming from an elephant's trunk. For a real escape, hop on a raft to Tom Sawyer Island. This island is away from the crowds and hustle and bustle and has some nice rocking chairs to boot. But it also has tons of caves and structures to explore, and it even has a whole fort to climb around. Swiss Family Treehouse is a walk-through attraction in Adventureland where you can climb a soup-duck treehouse and find beautiful views of the park. And my favorite game is A Pirate's Adventure, Treasure of the Seven Seas. Sign up for this one for free on the edge of Adventureland and Frontierland. In this game, you'll team up with Captain Jack Sparrow to scan interactive points around Adventureland in search of treasure. Whew, it's been a big day. We've still got that big finale to look forward to, but I think it's time we talk about lunch and dinner. We talked about some of the restaurants earlier, but let's get into the rest of the quick service and table service options. If you're hungry in Magic Kingdom, you're in for a treat, but I'll make sure that you're going for the actual good stuff and not wasting your time with mediocre food. Now, maybe you did your table service meal at breakfast, and we do not recommend doing more than one table service restaurant per day in Disney World. It eats up a lot of time. So if you're gonna do 2 table service meals, that's eating a ton of your park day. My water bottle! Everything's fine. Or maybe you're not doing a table service meal at all and you're all about the quicker meals so you can get back to the park. In that case, we're headed to a quick service. Keep an eye out for that recommended star in the corner. Casey's Corner on Main Street, USA is known for foot-long hot dogs and the particularly famous corn dog nuggets. Golden Oak Outpost does close a bit earlier on most days, but you can find surprisingly good hot honey chicken at this walk-up window. I am at Pecos Bill Tall Tale Inn and Cafe, where you can find a lot of Tex-Mex options. I've got this bowl, and there's chili beef in it. I'm excited about that. Generally, the vibe here is filling and crowd-pleasing, and you can even find some healthier options. Columbia Harbor House has a lot of air-conditioned seating and serves up fried fish, shrimp, and chicken, plus more New England-inspired favorites. This is another spot that closes a bit earlier. Over in Fantasyland, there's a spot with beautiful theming and mediocre food options, but you may want to visit Pinocchio Village House if you have a picky eater who is craving pizza. And my personal favorite right now is a burger from Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe. This spot has a lot of seating, a various menu, and a singing alien to entertain you while you eat. We love you, Sunny Eclipse. And if you do want a table service meal, there are some solid options. Be Our Guest restaurant has you dining inside Beast Castle, which is an absolutely beautiful restaurant with super immersive theming. Now, the downside of this is that the food is only okay and the price is pretty extravagant. You might see Beast while you're dining, but I do say weigh your options on this and only go if you're really interested in that atmosphere. Tony's Town Square on Main Street, USA is an Italian spot with a Lady and the Tramp theme that has had a bit of a glow-up in recent years. The Plaza restaurant has nostalgic favorites and some tables have beautiful views of Cinderella Castle. There's a Jungle Cruise-themed restaurant complete with jokes at Jungle Navigation Co. Limited Skipper Canteen. This spot has a more adventurous menu and a very cool atmosphere. And in Liberty Square is what is often considered the best restaurant in Magic Kingdom, Liberty Tree Tavern. This spot serves up an all-you-can-eat family-style meal with American holiday favorites. Diamond Horseshoe next door serves the same menu. Well, with such a fun day at the most magical park in the world, you probably want to grab a souvenir to remember it. There are shops all over Magic Kingdom, most of them themed to the attraction or area where you can find them. But the best place to shop in this park is right here at Main Street Emporium. This store has a massive selection of merchandise, and it's huge. But the day isn't over yet. There's one more thing you have to see, and it's what makes Magic Kingdom truly unforgettable. And without further ado, it's time for our big finale. Grab a spot on Main Street, USA to watch Happily Ever After, the projection and fireworks show that happens on Cinderella Castle. And try not to tear up when you see Tinkerbell fly in real life. I'm serious. I dare you to try. You can't do it. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. If you're still here, leave a like and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our full guide in Hollywood Studios. I'll see you there.
It'd be cute if you walk away. Not like that way to the castle.